Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining me for this morning's In the Word. This is Pastor Carr with First Lutheran Church in Iron River, Michigan. It's good to be with you. The sun is shining. The skies look pretty blue out there, at least from where I'm sitting. Uh, Hopefully, we'll all have a blessed day today. Oh, let's see. A couple of announcements this morning. Services will be happening this Sunday at the church. We are back having services. They will be going at 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. The first service at 8 a.m. has no music. The 10 a.m. service, not 10 p.m., the 10 a.m. service will have some music. Will be no singing, however, just some special music from our pianist Sarah, who will play for us. There will be communion at both services, but communion, you will not come forward for communion. There'll be a special way we'll do it. Good morning, Mom. Special way we'll do it at the service. So with that, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and jump in this morning. If you need to reach me for any reason, my number is 906-284-1032. You can call or text me. You can also email me at pastorcar@firstlutherironriver.com. If you have any questions about anything, you can also post it here in the live chat. I'll answer them immediately if I'm able. If I need to get back to you, I will. I will do that. I will do that as well. Uh, but yeah, so I'm gonna jump over here so I can see the slides. Just bear in mind if you say or post anything while we're going through this, I won't be able to see it. This morning our readings continue in the book of Ecclesiastes, Galatians, and Matthew. And our follow-up reading from the For All the Saints devotional is from Joseph Sittler, who lived from 1904 to 1987. And our closing prayer will be from Pierre, I'm not sure how to pronounce his name, Pierre Deschardins or something like that. It's another French bloke. Either way, let's see here. Let's just go ahead and jump into our opening prayer, shall we? Deliver us, O God, from our little fears, and spoil for us whatever confidence we have left in anything but thy victory. Amen. A brief opening prayer, but sometimes brief is good. Let me get my page flipped here. And from Ecclesiastes. Send out your bread on the water, for in many days you will find it. Divide your share in 7 or in 8, for you do not know what disaster will happen on the earth when the clouds are full. Did I forget to change the reading? Sorry, one moment. Yes, I gave the wrong reading. This is the reading from yesterday. So let me check on Galatians here as well. I must have the wrong devotional loaded up. So I tell you what, we're just going to skip through and I will read them from a book because I've got the wrong ones on the screen. Obviously. So give me just a second here so I can. All right, well, this is the gentleman who will be coming up momentarily. So from Ecclesiastes, rejoice, O young man, in your youth, and let your heart cheer you in the days of your youth. Walk in the ways of your heart and the sight of your eyes. But know that for all these things God will bring you into judgment. Remove vexation from your mind, and put away pain from your body. For youth and the dawn of life are vanity. Remember also your Creator in the days of your youth, before the evil days come, and the years draw nigh, when you will say, I have no pleasure in them, before the sun and the light, and the moon and the stars are darkened, and the clouds return after the rain. In the day when the keepers of the house tremble, and the strong men are bent, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look through the windows are dimmed, and the doors on the street are shut. When the sound of the grinding is low, and one rises up at the voice of a bird, and all the daughters of song are brought low. They are afraid also of what is high, and terrors are in the way. The almond tree blossoms, the grasshopper drags itself along, and desire fails. Because man goes to his eternal home, and the mourners go about the streets. Before the silver cord is snapped, or the golden bowl is broken, or the pitcher is broken at the fountain, or the wheel broken at the cistern, and the dust returns to the earth as it was, and the spirit returns to God who gave it. Vanity of vanities, says the preacher. All is vanity. Besides being wise, the preacher also taught the people knowledge, weighing and studying and arranging proverbs with great care. The preacher sought to find pleasing words, and uprightly he wrote words of truth. The sayings of the wise are like goads, and like nails firmly fixed are the collected sayings which are given by one shepherd. My son, beware of anything beyond these. Of making many books there is no end, and much study is a weariness of the flesh. The end of the matter, all has been heard. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. For God will bring every deed into judgment, in every secret thing, whether good or evil. Word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. And our second reading this morning comes from Galatians. It says, "If we live by the Spirit, let us also walk by the Spirit. Let us have no self-conceit, no provoking of one another, no envy of one another. Brethren, if a man is overtaken in any trespass, you who are spiritual should restore him in a spirit of gentleness. Look to yourself, lest you be tempted. Bear one another's burdens, and so fulfill the law of Christ. For if anyone thinks he is something when he is nothing, he deceives himself. But let each one test his own work, and then his reason to boast will be in himself alone, and not in his neighbor. For each man will have to bear his own load. Let him who is taught the word share all good things with him who teaches. Do not be deceived. God is not mocked. For whatever a man sows, that he will also reap. For he who sows to his own flesh will the flesh reap corruption. But he who sows to the Spirit will from the Spirit reap eternal life. And let us not grow weary in well-doing, for in due season we shall reap, if we do not lose heart. So then, as we have opportunity, let us do good to all men, and especially to those who are of the household of faith." The word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. And from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew, the 16th chapter. Glory to you, O Lord. It says, "From that time Jesus began to show his disciples that he must go to Jerusalem and suffer many things from the elders and chief priests and scribes, and to be killed, and on the third day be raised. And Peter took him and began to rebuke him, saying, God forbid, Lord, this shall never happen to you. But he turned and said to Peter, Get behind me, Satan. You are a hindrance to me, for you are not on the side of God, but of men." Then Jesus told his disciples, "If any man would come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. For whoever would save his life will lose it, and whoever loses his life for my sake will find it. For what would it profit a man if he gains the whole world, but forfeits his life? Or what shall a man give in return for his life? For the Son of Man is to come with his angels in the glory of his Father, and then he will repay every man for what he has done. Truly, I say to you, there are some standing here who will not taste death before they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom." The Gospel of the Lord. Praise to you, O Christ. Well, as I said, I apologize for... I thought sure I had changed those readings on the slides, but I obviously had not, so again, my apologies. But our follow-up reading is correct. It is from this gentleman here, Joseph Sittler, lived from 1904 to 1987. It's from his work, Gravity and Grace. And Joe Sittler writes, "Old age is a time of gathering diminishments. the maturation of hope and expectation, and to experience reverses in aging. There is literally no future. All the little filaments of personal relations that constitute your world snap loose one after another. I think of the world in which I was an active teacher and churchman and worker. Ted Tappert, Franklin Fry, Paul Krauss, Willem Visser de Hooft, all that company of world theologians of which I was not a peer, but a little guy among the greats. Reinhold and Richard Niebuhr, Rudolf Bultmann, Karl Barth, and Emil Brunner. I knew the whole bunch. We were on the World Council of Churches, Faith and Order Commission together. For 30 years of my life, I was a member of the group I now sardonically remember called itself the Younger Theologians. We met twice a year in the House of Preachers at Washington Cathedral, because it was offered to us and it was cheap. Other members of the group were Henry Pitney, Van Dusen, James Luther Adams, Wilhelm Pauch, and Paul Tillich. Now Jim Adams and I are the only two left. We respond with a combination of rejoicing and melancholy. One would think that to talk of aging in true and realistic terms of diminishment, of passingness, would be depressing to me, depressing to the aged. Take it from me, the very opposite is the case. When I appear among my peers, old people who ask me sometimes to come because they know my special interest in them, when I come and give them bits of the literature on aging, which I know by heart now, and can recite to them, I find that they both weep and are consoled, because they know they are not alone. This is the human condition. This is the company toward membership in which we are all moving. From Paul Tillich, Gravity and Grace. And our closing prayer is from Pierre Teilhard de Chardin. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Who lived from 1881 to 1955. Let us pray. When the signs of age begin to mark my body, and still more when they touch my mind, when the ill that is to diminish me or carry me off strikes from without or is born within me, when the painful moment comes in which I suddenly awaken to the fact that I am ill or growing old, and above all at the last moment when I feel I am losing hold of myself and am absolutely passive within the hands of the great unknown forces that have formed me. In all those dark moments, O God, grant that I may understand that it is you, provided only my faith is strong enough, who are painfully parting the fibers of my being in order to penetrate the very marrow of my substance and bear me away within yourself. Amen. From Pierre de Chardin. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for joining me this morning for Mornings in the Word. Can't believe I've messed the slides up, but yeah, actually I can. It's not the first time. It won't be the last. But either way, enjoy your day wherever you may be, and may your day be blessed. So long. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.